I don't know whether you can hear it or not. It was just barely that I could hear your hand over to me, Jared. Here in the City Hall, I'm standing at the left-hand side as one faces the stage. It's in one of those arcades which flank each side of the main Assembly Hall. And my position is rather good because I hope, be able to see President Kennedy and his party coming in the door and right up through the hall to where he will take his place at the table. The stage has been extended here in the hall, especially for this occasion. Normally, when the freedom of the city is conferred upon a distinguished visitor, it is done upstairs in the council chamber. But of course, today the occasion is such a big one, and there are more than 1,000 guests invited here as guests of the Lord Mayor and the city to be present for this occasion. The event is taking place down here in the hall. So the stage has been extended, rather tastefully decorated too. I understand from the city gardener that there are more than 3,000 flowers in the decorations which we have in the hall here today. All shades of red and blue and white, and the American flag picked out in red and white roses and cornflowers on the stage in front of the main table, which is itself covered in a dark blue, I would call it St. Patrick's blue velvet. On the table then...
If I may come in on you here, the President's helicopter is just landing in Collinsbury Square. There's tremendous surge forward of the newsmen and the officers and military people around the mess here. He's landed about 20 yards in front of the mess. The rotors are still turning. The little set of steps have been run out, but there's no sign of the President. Yes, here he is in yet another new suit. This man seems to have an inexhaustible wardrobe. He has been met by Colonel Halley, Colonel Bill Dunner, rather, the officer commanding the Southern Command, Alderman Sean Casey, TD, the Lord Mayor, Mr. Walter McEvely, the City Manager of Town Cork here in Cork, and Chief Superintendent Philip Chambers of the Garda Síochána. With him is Mr. Frank Aiken and Mr. Jack Lynch, of course, coming back to his native city. Mr. Matt McCluskey in a light gray summer-type hat, which is hardly suitable for the kind of wintry weather we have down here. There's tremendous press of newsmen and cameramen around the President, and he is talking to the group with him very animatedly. I don't know if he is going to delay very long. He is moving away now, trying to break away, shaking hands as he goes, making across towards the motorcade, which is lined up on the side of the square. He has taken his place in the car. He's standing in it. His only audience here consists of the military and their families, who are in all the windows surrounding the square, watching this great man as he takes his place prior to parading through the city.
These are come to us from the country of George Washington, of Abraham Lincoln, of Thomas Jefferson, of Franklin D. Roosevelt. All of them great international public figures, all of them great statesmen, all of them men of the highest stature. And you, Mr. President, in the opinion of the citizens of this city, and indeed the opinion of the citizens of Ireland generally, have shown by your writings, by your speeches, by your actions in defence of liberty within the United States and outside of it, that you are a man of the same rank, of the same calibre, of the same greatness as these great men. We welcome you, sir, as the chief citizen of one of the greatest nations on the earth. But we welcome you also for what you are yourself. We welcome you as the descendant of Irish immigrants who left this country in dark and evil days and who found shelter and freedom on the other side of the Atlantic. Millions of our people have got that shelter and have got that welcome. Millions of them went there and worked and fought their way through poverty and misunderstandings and hardships until they became an accepted and a respected part of the very great nation that the United States is today. In the main, these emigrants who left our shores brought little or no material wealth with them, but we like to feel that in return for the shelter provided them, in return for the opportunity for their own way of life presented to them, in return for the freedom to practice their religion, that they in turn did bring with them to your great country, from this country, a fundamental, basic democratic outlook in life and a Christian philosophy which has played no small part in the evolution of the mighty nation that today is the United States of America.